Welcome back to my animal education series. Today I'm going to be telling you guys about some of my diurnal frog species and a toad, because I need another animal for this video, so that's what we went with. So here I have my green tree frog, a squirrel frog, and a green toad. So you can find the green toads in southwestern the United States, kind of like Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico, and the northern parts of Mexico as well. And then both of these frogs here are found on the East Coast, down to like South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, that kind of area. So with the toad here, it's terrestrial, and these guys are arboreal. So these guys are very much in the trees. And I have fit their cages here very much for that kind of lifestyle. And for the toad, he's more terrestrial, along with his two buddies that are back in the cage. And then with the toad here, since they are more terrestrial, I have a kind of desert setup for them. So, if you look online, it's going to say that these toads here are nocturnal, but they can be found out during the day. So I'm like, that's good enough for me, I'll throw in the video for that little fact. And all of them are super active, so I'm kind of like, I don't want to take them out of the cups, but I want to take them out of the cups. It's kind of a tough decision here. But let's take this guy out first, just to give you something to look at, besides my face. Let's see if it'll go up here. Come on, buddy. And I will be washing my hands in between touching all these frogs. I will say that. Come on, little dude. Yeah, I definitely need to handle all these guys a little bit more so they're used to me. But let's just get them on here. Or over here. Or there. That works. That doesn't work though. Alright, so after he went and did a little tour of our entire animal room, we finally got him on the stick, and he's somewhat calm. So these guys' natural diet consists of mostly insects. Kind of like mosquitoes, flies, crickets, maybe some isopods, so some small stuff like that. Because this guy's a little bit smaller than full grown, so he's not going to be eating a whole lot of big stuff out there. And you can kind of see how he was a bit more green when he was in the cup, and now he's a bit more brown. So they can do that to kind of camouflage a little bit better. You give them a lot of leaves, they can kind of become more green, or if they're just chilling out on a branch or a log, they can kind of turn back to a brown. Do not ask me what that process is called, I have no clue what that is, but I still think it's super neat that they are able to do that. So also in the enclosure we have a variety of some plants, both fake and real, and then we have some wood in there so they can go back and forth and kind of show off the natural behavior when they're trying to like hide from us. And see, now he's sitting there all content. But I'm going to upset him again to talk about the next frog. So let's see how well this goes. Hey little buddy, what's up? There you go. There you go. Come on in there. Come on. There you go. Good frog. So I tried to crack the lid on this guy's little bin so that halfway through the shot I can put him on there for you guys. But as soon as I cracked it open, he just went and he took his own little tour of the closet. So we closed that door so that they can't go in there anymore. But I forgot to mention what I enjoyed so much about the green tree frogs. So my dad and I really like having green tree frogs because in the morning and the evenings they're super vocal. So like randomly we were doing like chores around the house and then you just start hearing them chirp and call, and that's super cool to me. But anyway, to the squirrel frog before he jumps off again and we have to go chase him down, which he's looking at doing, probably because of all my hand movements. But these guys, as I mentioned before, are found in the same regions as the green tree frog, kind of the southeast part of the United States. And these guys are super cool. We absolutely love having them in the animal room because we have 3 of them in total. And they're so active, and as soon as you walk into the room, they'll all go on like these 1 or 2 branches and just like stare at you with those big eyes. It's probably the coolest thing. You just come in here and you see all these frogs looking at you. But they don't really mind us when we're like in the cage and stuff, but as soon as we try to like get them out of the cage, it's kind of the same story with the green tree frog. They're not handled a whole lot. So like they just jump around, they have all this energy. It was super hard to get any of the three into a bin. I just happened to get the one with the most energy. But that's besides the point. He's out here, he's looking cute. And my dad and I are big frog people, so we love frogs. So we think that they're all cute. But so also a similar story with the green tree frog. These guys are also insectivores, eating small insects, flies, mosquitoes, things like that. And also a similar coloration, not to the green tree frog, but to blend in with the trees of the areas that they're found in. And it's just super cool to see like how big their eyes are for being a diurnal species. Typically you see bigger eyes on more nocturnal species, and off he goes. So we forgot to take into account the fact that they can crawl through our closet door. So my dad and I just went on a treasure hunt for about the last half hour, 40 minutes. That sucked, but here we're back now. All the frogs put away, and I'm done with that. So we put this guy in a bin, and let's hope to God he doesn't like jump out of it. So this is the western toad. So as I mentioned before, these guys can be found in the southwestern part of the country: Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico, northern parts of Mexico, like that. And since I'm not going to zoom in as well on him, I'm lifting this bin. I'm not losing another animal. If he jumps out of this one too, I might just call it quits right there. But these guys are super cool because even though they're primarily nocturnal, ours are really active during the day, we have found, which is strange. It's not what their species is supposed to do at all. Oh god, please stay in there. So we set up their cage with a bunch of little caves and crevices that they can crawl into with excavator clay. I don't think we filmed any of that, but it still looks good, despite us showing you how we made it or anything. But these guys go into all the little holes all the time. Sometimes they'll share holes with the other toads, or they'll just have one on their own. And they're ferocious eaters. Like, you put a couple crickets in there and they're all out there running around chasing the crickets, which I just love seeing that. It's super cool to have an animal that's constantly trying to like hunt down their food like they would in the wild. Kind of unlike Gracie down there. She just lets us offer the food to her and she doesn't even try anymore. But these guys definitely still hunt their crickets. So let's put him back. So there's a little video about some of my diurnal frogs and the nocturnal / diurnal toad. Literally not a single one of the animals wanted to cooperate today, so that made this video a whole lot longer to make. It probably should have taken me like 10-15 minutes, but it took us about an hour. It's just ridiculous at this point. But that's kind of what you have to deal with when working with animals. You have to understand that not a single animal wants to work with you. They just kind of want to do their own thing. So, yeah, at least Harry over here is cooperating. I like him. He doesn't run away from me as much. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. As always, don't forget to leave a big thumbs up down below, subscribe to my channel, and also check out my Instagram @ColeShirk. As always, I'll see you next week.